Hello. Good. Our lesson today is about genetic engineering. And I would like you to see this picture first, and then we will try to comment upon the picture. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Good. So, what can you see in the picture? Abdul Qadir. Okay. Good. Imagine. Very good. So people here are protesting against issues that pertain to agriculture, and here, even if the language is in Spanish, it's not in English, but it says agricultura libre, that is a free agriculture. So people here are protesting for the freedom of agriculture. Usually, people protest for human freedom, not for the agricultural freedom. So here, what is meant by agricultural freedom is that agriculture should be free. And freedom of agriculture here means that agriculture should be natural. Okay? And the opposite of natural here is modified. Is that right? Modified. So if you take natural and modified here, we are talking about agriculture. What is a natural agriculture and what is a modified agriculture? Salam.
The natural agriculture is the organic.
Very good. So the natural agriculture is the organic agriculture. And the modified, Majid? Very good. Is the genetically, here, it is the genetically modified agriculture. Good. So now we are talking about genetically modified. That is genetic engineering. So our lesson today is about genetic engineering. That is, sometimes you go to a supermarket and in December and you look for a certain type of grapes which you can find in December. 20, 30 years ago, sorry for that, you would not find it. But I would say thanks to genetically modified agriculture, you would find grapes in December. Also, there is something else. 3 or 4 years ago, I was in Japan, in Tokyo, and I had an Egyptian friend who got a scholarship from his government just for researching about rice. So he went to Japan because you know that rice is the main food in Japan, in Asia in general. So he went to Japan to do research about Japanese rice in order to modify it genetically so that they can sow it in Egypt. And as a consequence, they get a genetically modified rice from Japanese rice to get adapted to a Egyptian context and Egyptian weather, etc., etc. So this is in general the genetically modified food. We got a food, natural food, organic food, as Salim said, and we got today the genetically modified food. Organic food has its advantages. Genetically modified food also has its advantages and disadvantages. As anything in life, it has advantages and disadvantages. But genetically modified food is today more and more controversial. It is controversial. Why? Because people don't agree on genetically modified food. Some people like it, Khalid likes it, and Majid, for example, does not like it. Khalid likes to find the grapes anytime during the year, whereas Majid, for example, would like to eat only natural and organic grapes in its natural time, that is in summer. Okay? So for this reason, there are people who like genetically modified food and people who don't like it. And hence comes the genetic engineering. Genetic engineering is to modify food, okay? Any kind of food, vegetables, rice, anything, so that it could probably adapt to a specific weather conditions or specific needs for a specific community in a specific place anywhere in the world. Okay? So as we said, this is a genetically modified food, and hence the relationship between our text and the picture. So people are calling for agricultural libera, that is free agriculture, which means they are calling for organic agriculture. Okay? So now we would move on to the next step, that is your text. You have a text in front of you, and I would give you a couple of minutes to read the text, and you've got 3 questions with the text, so that they are guiding questions, so that you would not be lost. You would know why you are reading the text. You are reading the text through those 3 guiding questions. Read the text and try to answer those 3 questions in a few minutes, please. Are you ready? Okay, guys. Let's start with the first question. First, what is your text in general? What is it about? Salam. Okay, so the text is about genetic engineering. Okay, we already introduced what genetic engineering means and its relationship to genetically modified food. Our text is quite related to the picture in front of us. So people are protesting against the genetically modified food here because they are asking for a freedom of agriculture, which means that they are supporting organic food against genetically modified food. Okay, so why are people protesting here? Why are they calling for organic agriculture? From the text, Abdul Qadir. Very good, because they believe that genetically modified food has health hazards, has health dangers to humans. Salim? Very good. So the text says that genetically modified food has two kinds of dangers. Has a danger to human health and also has a danger to our environment, which is as important as a human health. Why? Because human health and environment are inextricably linked or related to each other. Simply because you would not be healthy in an unhealthy environment. So we need a healthy environment to have healthy people. I mean, think about people living in a highly polluted environment. So they would not be healthy at all. Or people eat genetically modified food, definitely there will be also a danger on their health. Moreover, as Salim said, okay, that genetically modified food is also dangerous to our environment, simply because on the text, if you look on the text, where is it on the text? Where is it in the text that says it is also dangerous for the environment? Salim, yes, good. Third paragraph, very good. Are you following, guys, there? Are you following? Go ahead. With natural? Very good, very good. So in paragraph 3, as Salim said, those genetically modified organisms, that is GMOs, they can spread through nature and interbreed. You understand? They interbreed with natural organisms. What does that mean? When you say they interbreed here, you have healthy natural organisms interbreed with genetically modified organisms. That is, genetically modified is negative, natural organisms are positive, and when they interbreed, they create an unhealthy environment. Is this clear? Good. Okay, so let's move on to the first question. How can a GMO's danger be measured? When we say how can they be measured, it means that when they interbreed with natural organisms, they create an unhealthy environment. They create danger to environment and, as a consequence, to human health. That's how the GMOs can be measured. Good. What is Majid? Would you please read the second question, ya Majid? Good. Why is there blackout about GE, that is generally or genetic engineering ingredients in food? Why? Majid. Very good, excellent. The blackout is because of commercial reasons. For commercial reasons, those who modify our food don't put a clear label on the food when you go to the supermarket, and that is for a commercial reasons. So they are commercializing our health. They are commercializing our food. So that's why there is a blackout. That is, there is a cover-up. Okay? They don't tell you the truth. Good. Let's finish, guys, with the third question. Salam, would you please read the third question?
How can we address the threat of genetic engineering?
How can we address the threat? How can we deal with the threat? Abdul Qadir.
By starting a project aiming to create an international regulation
Very good.
which limits the activities of genetic
Very good, very good. So Abdul Qadir is suggesting that there must be an international agreement, okay, between countries to organize and to handle this issue. There must be an agreement how to deal with genetically modified food in terms of what? In terms of honesty, for example. And an international agreement about genetically modified food is looking for or aims to create a sense of honesty and clarity and lack of ambiguity about the food we are eating. It is not logical that we eat food we don't know the genetic map of that food. It's not logical to eat an apple, okay, and you don't know where this apple comes from, or you don't have any idea about the genetic map of that apple. It could be made from genes from a Tunisian apple, and from an American apple, from an Emirates apple, from a Saudi apple, and all that mixture is put together to create an apple, and we don't know. So in the end, the consumer has the right to know about the genetically modified food. Good. Thank you, guys. After having studied the text and you have answered the questions very well, now let's move on to the last stage. That is, I want you to produce something. That is, let's ask questions, for example. Okay? Let's say any question you would like to ask. Okay? I want the question to come from you. What is the question? Very good. This is a very good question. Okay? So let's see. Do you think that genetically modified food is dangerous to human health and environmental health? I will give you a couple of minutes to write down your answer, and then we will discuss it. Okay, guys, shall we get your feedback? Are you ready? Good. Abdul Qadir. Uh-huh. Okay. Very good. Very good. So he's trying to say that it is dangerous when it goes beyond a normal average. So Abdul Qadir is not against genetically modified food, but provided that it does not go above a normal average of modification. Okay, that's the point of view we respect. Anybody else? Salim, please.
For the human,
Mhm.
some of the causes serious disease, for example, cancer.
Right, good.
For the environment and, for example, we look at the fisheries.
Right,
Take the finance with that.
exactly.
Can really help because
Right. So if Abdul Qadir is partially with genetically modified food, but he put a condition on that it does not go beyond the normal average of modification, of genetic modification, Salim is completely against it. He says that because it causes serious problems for human health, plus also it is very damaging for nature and for our environment. Good, very good. Majid?
Very dangerous. So it wasn't dangerous. Those who make these genetically
Right,
modified products
right.
would have labeled the ingredients.
Good.
Genetic ingredients.
Good, interesting. Yeah, Majid is trying to say that he strongly believes that it is dangerous. Why? Because if it were not dangerous, people who produce those genetically modified food would be probably clear and honest, would put a label which indicates the genetic map and the origin and good information about that kind of food. That's a very interesting point. Good. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your time, and I hope that the lesson today was productive and interesting for you. Thank you so much. Thank you.